Hi, my name's Faith. My husband Walter has always been close to his best friend Holly. When we first got together, he did warn me about her. He said, "Holly is a special person in my life, Faith. I just wanted you to know that. I want to clear everything out so that you don't have doubts. She is very important to me. We even dated for a short time." I had no idea about your history with Holly. You never told me that you two dated. Why did you guys break up? She moved away for work in a different country. We didn't want to have a long-distance relationship, so we decided to end it. Walter, do you still have feelings for her? Please tell me the truth. I know you still talk to her a lot. Yes, I do talk to her a lot, but it's not what you think. I don't have feelings for her anymore, but she is still my best friend. I want you to make peace with it. Those were all lies, you know. He was never over Holly. Somewhere in his heart, he loved Holly even if they had broken up. He had gotten with me because he didn't think Holly would come back. I believed his words and made one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Walter and I were a very happy couple. We had a very strong relationship, and many couples envied our deep understanding. Diana, his mother, was also extremely happy with our relationship. She loved me like her daughter, she always said. You know what, Faith? I have always wanted a daughter. I think God finally listened to my prayers. He sent me you as my future daughter-in-law. I'm so happy my son finally found a good woman. But I thought you were close to Holly as well. Don't you see her as a daughter? Walter said so many nice things about her. Holly is not a good person, Faith. I'm glad you brought her up. I don't know what Walter has told you, but I think something is still on between them. I don't have any proof, but I'm worried. Don't worry, Diana. Walter and I have already talked about this. He assured me that he loves me. He only sees Holly as a friend. I understand that you would believe my son. Trust me, I want to as well. But I'm afraid he will hurt you. His father cheated on me and left me with him. I don't want the same for you, dear. Yes, I did believe my husband over his mom. It was a mistake. I was overconfident about my relationship. There were little to no red flags. So I had no problem marrying Walter. However, Walter did behave a little weirdly after our wedding. Holly didn't attend because she was in another country. But she did call him in the middle of the reception and cry to him about it. Walter spent a good time on the phone trying to comfort her. It pissed me off, but I held my tongue. After we got married, we moved into a house Walter owned. It was left to him by his grandfather, and he made some awesome changes in the house. I too contributed a little to make it homely. We started our marital life here, but things were far from being rosy. Living with Walter 24/7 made me realize that he was too close to Holly. They talked on the phone continuously. Eventually, I expressed my discomfort with the relationship. I said, "Walter, I think you're spending too much time on the phone with Holly. It's putting doubts into my head. You need to put some boundaries between the two of you." "That will never happen, Faith. I told you way back that Holly is important to me. You married me knowing this. You have no right to complain." "But you never told me the extent of your relationship. You promised that you had no feelings for her. But your actions speak otherwise, Walter. I'm starting to doubt you." "Don't be ridiculous, Faith. You have no right to attack me like this. I will talk to Holly however I please. You are no one to dictate how I live my life. Besides, Holly will be coming back to our city permanently. You better get your shit together because there will be more of this. Oh, I also got her a position at my job, so she will be with me at work as well. I was shocked to know this little piece of information. Holly was coming back to our city? Hell, she was also going to join Walter's workplace. No wonder Walter had been acting distant for a while now. Holly wasn't even here yet and Walter was already pulling away from me. I had some serious nightmares about what happened when she actually came here. Eventually, my worst nightmares came true. Holly flew back to our city, settled here for good. She found a cheap apartment and even started a job at Walter's company. Now, the two of them were spending way more time together in person. At first, I just thought that I was paranoid. However, I soon realized that I wasn't. Holly met me one day at the grocery store. She smirked at me and said, "Hey, you must be the one Walter married in my place. I must say he was desperate for some female company. He wouldn't have married you otherwise. You are nothing to me." "What are you talking about, Holly? You are so rude. This is literally our first meeting. And no matter what, I am Walter's wife. He married me because he loves me." "You are seriously delusional, Faith. He married you because I wasn't here. But now I have returned and I will take back my man. You just wait and watch. It won't be long before Walter crawls back to me." I couldn't believe my ears. On the first meeting itself, Holly showed me her true colors. She also foreshadowed what would happen in the future. Still, I hadn't taken that warning seriously. I was stupid and had immense trust in my husband. I loved him after all, and I knew he loved me too. It all changed when Walter suddenly sat me down and gave me some shocking news. He said, "Faith, I think you should know that Holly will be moving in with us tomorrow. Some of her stuff is already here. We brought it over when you were at work." "What? Are you joking, Walter? Why is she moving in with us? You didn't even consult me before making this decision. I am your wife, and you need to discuss these things with me." "This is my house, Faith. I can bring whoever I want into this house. Since you don't own this place, you don't get a say. Holly has been in some financial trouble, so she can't afford rent. We will cover her expenses till she gets back on her feet." "And what if I don't agree with this? What will happen then?" "You don't get a say. She will be here and that's final. If you pull any antics, I will kick you out." True to his words, Holly moved in the very next day. There was nothing I could do about it. Soon, I felt like a third wheel in their relationship. They were always together and even physically close. I and Walter fought about these things, but nothing changed. Instead, they escalated their PDA. Months passed and Holly made no attempts to move. Walter shut down every discussion I started about her moving out. I didn't even know why I was still married to him. He didn't need me anymore. One day, Holly showed me exactly what was going on in my marriage. She sent me some screenshots with the title, "I got your man, Faith. Now you are the other woman. Don't worry, divorce is in the air." These screenshots were texts between her and Walter. They had been having an affair. They hoop up when I am away for work. They even insulted me in their texts, and Walter said that he loved her. I was stunned. I was shaking from Holly's message. The images she left in my mind were too painful to comprehend. I was a mess and had a huge breakdown. I cried for hours till Holly and Walter came home. As soon as they stepped through the doors, I confronted them. I said, "I know you two are having an affair. How could you do this to me, Walter? You literally brought this homewrecker into our life and destroyed our marriage. How dare you speak about Holly like that? She is nothing but an innocent and kind woman. You are the one with the problem. You have had trouble accepting Holly from the very beginning. Yes, I had trouble accepting her. It was because Holly made it clear she was going to steal you from me. It looks like she managed to do it. She can't live here any longer, Walter. If you want our marriage to survive, you need to kick her out. Walter, I'm so sorry for creating problems between the two of you. I will leave. I don't have anywhere to go, but I guess I'll sleep on the streets. I can't bear to take Faith's insults anymore. I will have a panic attack at any moment. Saying this, Holly began to loudly cry and clutch her chest. Walter rushed to her and hugged her intimately. Then he tried to calm her down while throwing me some nasty glances. I was stunned and wanted to cry myself. However, Walter's next words halted me. He said, "Holly, don't cry, dear. You won't have to go anywhere. This house is mine and mine alone. Faith can't kick you out and I won't either. You don't have to worry." "You will kick her out, Walter. I will not live with a homewrecker and your mistress. I might love you a lot, but I have boundaries. You need to kick her out instead of giving her false promises." "I am not making any false promises. Holly will be here with me. You are the one who will leave. You were so cruel to Holly and wanted her out even knowing that she didn't have a place to stay. I cannot house someone so cruel and vile. You have upset Holly enough. Leave the house immediately and give us some space." "Wait, you are kicking me out instead of her? Are you serious? You are choosing Holly over your own wife?" "Yes, I want you out. You know, you will return anyway because you're shameless. You are nothing but a spoiled princess. You should be grateful I hadn't kicked you out sooner. Greedy people like you deserve to be on the streets." Hearing those words absolutely made my head spin. If things weren't bad enough, it is even worse now. Just because the house was in Walter's name, he decided to kick me out. Whether or not he was joking didn't matter. What mattered was the fact that he chose Holly over me and showed me my place. The entire time, Holly was standing there and smirking at me. So I silently made a promise to myself. After doing that, I said, "Yes, I'll return, but when I do, things will be way different. Mark my words, Walter. This is not the end of the show. You will face consequences, Walter, and so will Holly." "How dare you threaten us? See, Walter, I always told you that this girl is a freaking gold digger. She wants to force you to live with her in your house." "You have some nerve saying you will come back. I always knew you were a greedy and shameless woman. You were only with me for money. You want to come back? Fine. I'll see how you ever enter my house again." I didn't bother honoring them with a reply. I had to preserve my dignity for the things to come. I had great plans for them. This was only the beginning of my revenge. I packed my stuff and left without engaging with them any further. While I was leaving, Walter was comforting Holly while she sobbed about being insulted. I ignored them and left. Then I went straight to Diana's house. When she opened the door, she was shocked. She brought me in and said, "Oh my God, Faith, what happened? Why do you have your stuff with you? Sit down, tell me." "Diana, Walter had kicked me out. He told me to leave. I didn't know where else to go right now, so I decided to come here." "What? Walter has kicked you out? But why? This is not making any sense." That's when I told her the full story of what had happened. Suffice it to say, Diana was absolutely shocked. She couldn't believe her ears. Honestly speaking, she also looked very angry. She said, "I can't believe he did this to his own wife. What kind of son have I raised? I am ashamed of myself." "No, Diana, please don't blame yourself. I have full faith in your morals. Hell, I've even seen you scold Walter for being such a neglectful husband. This is not your fault. I tried my best, Faith, but it looks like he went after his cheating father. Do you have any concrete evidence of their cheating? Yes, Diana, I have some solid proof. I found texts on Walter's phone. I have those screenshots. And Holly had stupidly sent me some texts between them. I guess she was trying to hurt me or make me jealous. I can't believe the audacity of that witch. She is a freaking homewrecker. My son doesn't know what he lost. Don't worry, Diana. He will find out soon enough. As for Holly, I have some solid plans as well. I just need your support. Do I have your word that you won't help them in any way? Yes, Faith. There is no freaking way I'm going to support them. I didn't raise a cheater. I have no son from today. You have my full support. Go nuclear. I don't care. With Diana's support, I decided to start planning my revenge. I gathered all the screenshots and kept them secure in a folder. The next day, I met with a lawyer and discussed everything. The two of us went through the legalities of my plan, and he helped me make a good revenge scheme. I decided to file for divorce and have my lawyer serve him the papers when they are done. Walter was served divorce papers right in his office and in front of his colleagues. Naturally, everyone wanted to know why we were divorcing. My lawyer called me after serving the divorce papers. He also went and gave me the go-ahead with my plan. That's when I forwarded a nice email to HR about Walter and Holly's illicit relationship. I also attached the screenshots as proof. A friend from Walter's office told me that the duo got a call for a nice meeting. By then, everyone knew what Walter and Holly had done. The said friend informed them. I got a call from Walter as soon as the meeting ended. Yes, he was fired, and so was Holly. He started shouting at me and said, "What the hell is wrong with you, Faith? You told HR about me and Holly? Are you drawing insane? You have cost us our job. I and Holly are unemployed because of you." Careful, Walter, the conversation is being recorded. You don't want to be too harsh with me. I can sue you for verbal abuse, you know. I hope you got the divorce papers. You have 6 months to sign them and hand them over. I am not signing the divorce papers. Even if I do, I will fight for alimony. I will take you to the cleaners. You have some high expectations, Walter. Have you forgotten the fact that in our state, cheating is considered a fault? You won't get a cent from me. You have no proof that I and Holly had a relationship. You were just bluffing. You cannot prove it in court. Is that so, Walter? Well, why don't you take a look at your email? I have sent you all the proof I have. You should tell your mistress to not be so stupid. She sent some juicy screenshots and gave me some good ammo. Walter cut the call and said that he would destroy me in court. None of that happened. As the months passed, Walter and Holly fell into a deep pit of financial crisis. Since Diana also turned away from Walter, he had no one to depend on. Both of them were still unemployed, and on top of that, Walter was riddled with lawyers' fees. Holly wasn't joking when she said she had no money. Turns out she did spend all her money on luxury goods. She was sure that Walter would take care of her. However, she had no idea what was about to hit her. I went to court to file a case against Holly for alienation of affection. My lawyer backed me and told me to go for it. After receiving the legal papers, Holly freaked out. Diana told me that Walter had called her, crying. They were extremely low on cash and he wasn't able to get a good job. Holly refused to work again and expected him to shoulder all her responsibilities. With the addition of other lawyer fees, everything was too much for him. He begged Diana for money, but she refused. In the end, after months of struggling to find money, Walter was forced to sell his house. I saw an advertisement on a real estate agent's site. I grabbed the opportunity to exact my final revenge. I contacted the agent and told him that I was interested. I offered a good amount and told him that I was willing to sign it right away. We set a date to meet with Walter to finalize everything. However, Walter had no idea who was buying his house. When he saw me, he was shocked. He said, "What the hell are you doing here, Faith? Why are you with my agent?" "I have returned to your house as I had previously promised. This time I came as a buyer. I am the one who is buying your house." "No, I won't sell you my house. That is impossible. I won't do it. I just won't sell my precious house to someone who destroyed my life." "You will be stupid not to, Walter. You have no money and your lawyer has been complaining about not getting his pay. Soon, you won't even be able to support yourself, let alone Holly. You won't find a better offer than mine, Walter. Think about it." After a lot of back and forth, Walter agreed to let me buy the house. His real estate agent put some sense into his head. It also didn't help that his lawyer kept calling him the entire time. In the end, he looked defeated and signed the papers. His previous house is now mine. One day, he kicked me out of the house. Today, I live here permanently. You might want to know about what happened to Walter and Holly after this. Well, long story short, they broke up. They kept blaming each other for leaving their jobs once I was out of the picture. Holly wanted to stay at home and have Walter be the breadwinner. Walter refused and didn't want to share his money with her. Girlfriend or not, he was a greedy man who didn't share. They split up after Walter kicked her out after an argument. Walter did try to get back with me even after the divorce was finalized. He begged me for forgiveness and asked for a second chance. I told him that he already had too many of those. There was no way I was getting back with him. He is living a lonely life since neither Diana nor his friends talk to him anymore. Diana and I still have a great relationship and she comes over to my house often. I have started to go on dates, but nothing serious so far. I hope I will eventually find someone who will love me like I deserve to be loved. Till then, pray for me and Diana.